yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It seems like I was just here in the virtual studio, and I was. Yes, yes, yes. Glory, glory, glory. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. Your girl feel light. I feel fluffy. I got a load off. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. Listen, come on in. First thing I need you to do is like and share, like and share, like and share. It is Mocktails and Conversations on tonight. What are you drinking on? Hey, Pastor P, where you at, girl? Where you at, Pastor? Good evening. Good evening. We was looking for you inside the studio. You skipped out on your start time. Jump on in there. You have the link. Jump on in the room when you're ready to jump on in the room. All right, everybody, listen. First thing I need you to do is like and share the video. Like and share. It's so important that you do both. Very important that you hit the like button. It costs you nothing. Just click it. Click. There you go. You just did it. Beautiful. Like it, then you share it. Send it off. Send it off to your friends. That's what we need you to do. Send it off to your friends. Let them know that Danny Direct Unfiltered is on. We have the men in the house. We got the ladies in the house. This conversation is about to go down. So tonight, we are going to be talking about intimacy. We are going to be talking about intentionality. And we are going to be talking about ideals, intimacy, intentionality, and ideals. Who do I have on the scramble board in the house? I call her, I'm not going to call her that tonight because she don't like when I say it, but it's Micheline in the house. Yes.
Hey,
Hey, beautiful. How you doing?
I'm great. How is everybody?
We are doing good, ready to hear what you got to say there. Then I got my brother in the house, Matt.
Good evening, all.
We are doing good, except for that dog behind your head.
We're doing big things. You'll love us later. Wait till the season come.
It's hurting our eyes.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Got my bestie in the house.
Hey,
Be also ready. Yes. We got my cousin Craig in the house.
How y'all doing? That was a good move too.
Ready to drop some gems on
Yes,
us.
sir.
And then my girl, Mimi, Michelle's in the house. Yeah,
hello.
But she ready to drop some words. She's ready. She is ready. Okay. So listen, let's jump right on in. This is what I want you to start off doing because we always do this at the end and some people fall off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going on. If you got any events going on, you got some, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you got going on from top to bottom.
Okay. Yeah, Micheline. I don't have whole lot going on right now. I'm just trying to grow in Christ and get more word. I am a member of First Baptist Church Gilmanton. I am one of the church clerks. I am also the outreach ministry leader. I, am. That's it. I don't have a whole lot to say.
That's a lot. That is a lot, girl. That is a lot. If you guys can turn if you're looking at it like on another screen, turn the volume on that down and listen through whatever you're watching through. Cause it's some feedback coming. Somebody got a little piece of feedback. Okay. Ron, Matt, what you got going on?
Hey, Pastor Mac coming at you. Listen, you can catch me every Friday on the Greater Grace page. And when you go to the Greater Grace page, look up Greater Grace Portsmouth. And you can always catch me every Friday at 9, or you can go look at it later. But you can always catch me on that page. So that's all I got going on right now. But go get that fire on Fridays with Pastor Mac. It'll bless your life.
All right, Pastor Michelle, what you got?
Hello, everybody. My name is Michelle. I have right now going on a lot. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I am on Girl Time Talk for the ladies, where we come have conversation, talk about any and everything that women talk about so that we can grow together. I am currently in the process of planting the Healing Temple, the Temple of Healing. And pretty much I'm here for the conversation tonight.
Okay, Craigie. Sorry, I had to say that. I just had to.
That's fine. I'm Craig Copeland. I got a lot of business stuff going on. I'm a broker and have my own trucking company. And I also mentor young men, young business owners trying to get in the game and get them some wealth and knowledge so they won't make the same mistakes that I made. And that's all. That's all I got going on right now.
So, do you mentor people that's only going in like trucking in the businesses you're going in, or any business?
I mentor anybody going into business because there's a lot of things that you don't foresee when you getting your certifications or you got a degree. There's a lot of things that they don't teach you in school.
Okay, beautiful. Yo, let's grow.
Hey everybody, I'm Yo-Yo. I have a show that comes on Tuesday nights called Let's Grow with Yo-Yo. It's every Tuesday, 7:30 Central Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm also pursuing politics. So I got my little campaign manager going with me, and we're gonna be on this campaign trail. I can't tell y'all what I'm going for, but y'all will see me out there. So y'all just keep on the lookout.
Somebody done fell off.
You lost
Matt.
Pastor.
Okay, there you go. All right, so let's get into this conversation. Y'all already know I'm your girl, Danny. We're talking about relationships yet again. We're going to bring you the male perspective, we're going to bring you the female perspective, and we're going to meet somewhere in the middle. So let's get this thing started. Relationships, intimacy. Okay, I feel like men don't know what intimacy is. Let me just start off from the gate. Intimacy.
Craig already looking at you funny.
Lord.
Intimacy is not sex. Intimacy is not even physical. Intimacy basically is being able to open yourself up, give your heart to somebody, and trust them. It's that place of vulnerability. It's that place of where you and that person is just connected. I mean, you're just in a very intimate, closed place together. What say you? You know, because it's not sex. It's not.
Intimacy is, to me, it is a opening of the mind. It's a connection. It's a connection here first, I think, because if you can't connect here, then you can't be intimate.
On our last event,
Okay.
you
breaking up.
in between your legs, huh?
You breaking up.
Am I still breaking up?
No, you good.
No,
you good now.
Said that your head is connected to in between your legs.
Oh Lord.
You heard that? That was on the last conversation we had.
Yeah, that's what who said that? One of the fellas said that women it's they said something about women.
That was me, and we was talking about sex, not intimacy. But I'm okay.
Hey Ron, fill me
That's
in.
why he had to look on his face.
I'm just saying we jumping the track, but okay.
That's what I'm relating it to. She said that it's in your head. So I was saying, well, they said your head is connected in between your legs. So is that
And
the
I didn't say, just to be clear, I said sex for women, their private parts is connected to their heart, not their head.
oh,
Just to be clear. Just to be clear.
Actually, it's
Women
all
do
three.
release
It's your mind,
hormones.
your heart, and your private parts. Because in order to get all this, you got to get here first, and then get my heart, and then you could get in between my legs.
I guess
But
the million dollar,
sometimes it don't work that way.
I guess the $1 million question is, I hear what intimacy is through the eyes of a woman. The
Right.
question is, do you understand what intimacy in the eyes of a man is?
no, that's up to you to let us know what
Tell us what intimacy is in the eyes of a man.
Okay, and Ron, you can disagree or agree with me, man. But
Let me cut my volume up.
Yeah, speak up a little bit louder.
okay,
Sorry, that's the dog.
okay.
Sorry, Peter.
Intimacy through the eyes of a man is very, 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 very simple.
Okay.
It's very simple. Intimacy for a man is just to be respected. That's all he wants. A man just want to be respected.
Respected.
He just want to be respected. That's all he wants. All the glitz and glamour, like even take a wedding. A wedding is the only part that the man plays really in a wedding is the beginning, the counsel. The man definitely needs counseling with his woman, with his soon-to-be wife. God needs to order his steps, and he needs to know how to lead, getting the word of God through him. But after that, between that and the vows, everything is for the woman. That's her day. You know what I'm saying? So
I
you
can
have
agree
to
with that.
understand.
Not in the Hill household.
You really have to understand. A man is very, very simple. He's not complex at all. If he's celebrated, if he's respected, if he's cherished, if he's supported, that's the biggest intimacy for any man. I promise you. Don't make it more
And
than what it is.
I'm gonna expound on that a little bit, because speaking of the last time we spoke, just to piggyback off that, I said appreciate it. And the first thing I got back in the comments was, oh, what I'm hearing you say is stroke his ego and this. No, that's not what I said. I said appreciate it. If you show a man appreciation, then he will move mountains for you. We are very simple. We don't require a lot. We don't need a lot, but appreciation and respect is monumental.
That's it.
And wait, I just want to ask: are y'all, simple and not complex according to your perspective? Has this been proven that?
I,
Because
I, I, would-
Right.
well, first of all, I would say when you're talking to an adult, let's just keep it.
okay,
Let's just keep it a buck. If you're talking to an adult,
what's considered an adult male?
an adult is a man. Adult is a man that takes accountability for his actions.
Ooh,
He's able to
Love it.
own what he does. A man's when he communicates with not just so much authority, but he communicates effectively. And on top of that, he listens not to reply, he listens to hear and then reply. It's depending on what type of caliber man that you have. I asked a question on Facebook. I asked women to name 5 things they look for when they picking a man. None of the women, the only thing that came close to his heart was godly principles. Every woman on this phone, if you have a husband, if you have a man, he picked you based on your heart. He didn't pick you. Now, of course, he looked at you. Of course, you had to be easy on the eyes. Of course, all that stuff matters. But based on your heart is why he's with you. A lot of women don't look at our hearts. They look at other things. But that's for a whole other conversation.
Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick? Oh.
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
I want to say something what he said now. You said women don't look at your heart. But now I may be wrong, ladies, but I've been around the block a couple of times.
Right.
when a man, this is just me, when he see you said he looks at our heart. When they see us, they don't look at looking at our butts, our breasts, or our face. That's the first thing a man sees, right? Then we have a conversation.
Right.
And then he may, feel us after that. But the first thing they're not doing is looking at our hearts. That goes on with after time. And that's even with a female. We're looking at you physically first, and then we may go on a date or two, and we get to talking and all this other stuff. That's when we get to know the person. Off the bat, I can't say that I'm not looking for your heart when I first see you.
No. Of course not. What I'm saying is, when we get to the process of choosing the man, because I always say, we don't choose you, you choose us. We don't choose you. We pursue you. We hunt. That's what we do. But the choice to go on a date, I can't go on a date with you, Yo-Yo, till you say yes. I cannot move.
But you have to actually ask.
But
there's so many out there now that, and I've heard this, not only from my own experience, but there's so many that seems like they don't even believe in dating anymore.
Well, I talked about this the last time we talked. I told you that
we need to be focusing on intimacy. We getting off.
Okay, I got you.
Because we don't want to talk about the other things. Let's stick with intimacy. Intimacy.
But when you
your original question was, what we speak of is that across the board. Every situation is different. Every male is different. But for the most part, that's what it is for a man. Just showing that you care. Coming home to a meal, asking, I might sound cliche, it might sound suspect, but asking us how our day was. I know this is kind of getting off the subject, but when you make a man feel good about himself, you forever got him locked in. Now, every case is different, but you wonder why people, to your point, Yomi, people don't go out really now. And, the butts, that's not withstanding. How you treat me on the daily, how you make me feel about me is what keeps me in the house. What makes me want to love on you is the fact that you loving on me. And like you said, the loving is just making sure how your day went. Are you hungry?
But that's if you're in a relationship or you're married or something. That
if
intimacy,
you met a person,
right? You
wouldn't
can't
be intimate at that moment. I agree with you personally. Kohali, it's no intimacy when you first meet a person. But to what Craig was saying, I saw a post that was so profound. Instead of checking his phone, won't you check how he feels? And that's so profound because we miss it. If we put in the same effort we into looking and searching and this, that, and the third for all the wrong stuff, see how that man feel. Stop checking the phone, stop checking this, and check his heart.
I think
I'm with you on that one.
Hold on, let me let Michelle jump on in there. You have something?
No, so I mean, when I think about intimacy and what's been said so far, one thing I think of as far as the women's concerned is for a man to be into me. And when I think of the men that's spoken so far, they are to me bullseye on, because men do want to feel like they are the king of the castle. They want to feel like they are appreciated, like they are your whole world. They really want to feel that's intimacy for them. But the flip side of it is I don't want to feel like I have to cook, I have to clean to show you how much intimate I am to you. I mean, I don't mind doing it, but I don't want that to be the main course of our intimate relationship aside of sex.
Okay. And that's what in the last program too, we were saying that it comes both ways. Me and Craig was saying that, like, if we get home early or we get home before, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. It's no dominant, where you have to do this. Like, for instance, when I was in a relationship, I cooked, I washed clothes, I did the homework, I did the baths, I did that because the role would change when I retired. And then, and she was out there doing her thing. So I believe what you said is spot on.
What,
It got to be 50-50. Nobody
Ron?
should
I
be
think
mandated to do anything.
Ron, I think somebody's echoing, but I think what the women today is having a problem with us, Ron, is that we're having conversations with some men are having conversations with women with no substance. The intimacy starts at the beginning when we're talking. They have no substance. They're not talking about them or things that make sense. They're talking about, girl, you got a fat girl. I need to see you. Need to come here. We need to do.
God.
They're skipping the steps that women are seeing. So when they women can see in your first 10 minutes of conversation,
Amen,
that you have no intentions of treating her with any substance. You're not going to add to her. All you do is going to subtract from her. So I think when she was saying about dating, it's a problem because no one wants to take the time to go out, to open doors, to sit down and have a complete, no holds barred conversation about your intentions for this relationship or for what we're doing.
Can I say
most women can deal with honesty. If you want to be friends, just say that. If you want to get it in, let's say that. If you just want to just chill, just say that.
Amen.
And I think what we're doing is manipulating a little bit to get what we want and leaving the woman to her own devices. The last thing you want to do as a man is leave a woman to her own devices because she might not come up with what we think she should come up with based on the past of what she's been through. At some point in time, intimacy has to go past the bedroom.
Amen.
And that's what I was telling one of my girlfriends today. I said it's sad that you can't have an intellectual conversation with men, not all men, but some men, and it's a turnoff. Right? I like having an intellectual because that's letting me know that you're more than the physical. And that's intimacy to me. If I can have a conversation with you, we can sit down here and talk about not just Lord. Besides having let's talk about, I like football, I like basketball, but can we talk about what's going on in Ukraine or what are your plans for the future? What do you like? What are your dreams? A lot of men, even in our age bracket, don't have that I've noticed, don't have that kind of capacity to think that far. And it's like I'd rather be by myself than try to I shouldn't have to pull it out of you. It should flow. Like our conversation should flow automatically. I feel, especially if you're feeling me and I'm feeling you, and we are on a date, or we're chilling at the house, or
I definitely want to come back to what you're saying. So I want you to write it down. I'm gonna write it down because to me, you're starting to talk about ideals because if you are on a date, that's what the date is for, is to receive information. So you may not be interested in the same things. So the conversation may not flow. He may not be interested. If I was on a date with someone and they was talking about politics or the news, they probably would be like, she has no substance because that's of no interest, for me and vice versa. So I want you to talk about that if you can remember that. But that's to me is ideals.
Okay.
Like expectations.
When you talk about intimacy, though, you're talking about mentally connecting. So that's in that conversation, and that's basically
exactly
emotionally connecting. And a lot of people aren't yet ready. That we're coming up with all of these things. We're running across all of these things that we're talking about now is because the people that we're speaking of, the people that we're coming across, people that we're talking to are not ready for intimacy with us.
There you go,
They
Michelle.
may be
That's
ready
right.
for somebody else, but not with us, because if they were, then the conversation, then the emotional connection, the mental connection, all of that would flow nicely.
Huh?
Well,
Absolutely. Go ahead, Craig.
I will agree and I will disagree. I will agree that all 4 women on this phone are independent, strong women.
I can't explain it to you.
But I guarantee you, when a man sees that, your independency is basically saying you don't need no help. So a lot of our women saying that we need to be vulnerable, you need to put down your shield too. Because if I see you and you basically got it going on together, I don't know where I fit. I don't know where I fit with you sometimes because you're so strong. I'm telling you the same thing. Some of our women are working us out of a job that we were taught. I was taught to open the door.
It's the echo of somebody talking
We
to
got
something.
a lot of background noise. Okay, go ahead.
I was taught to open the doors. I was taught to say nice things. I was taught to write things. But if you don't receive those things, now, again, I have to revamp myself. I have to try to understand where I fit in your life. And a lot of times, you career women, you're very strong, you're very educated. And sometimes men do not how to approach. Like, check this out. Notice how all y'all up here are beautiful. You notice when you're dressed up and you're beautiful, nobody say nothing. But when you're dressed down and you go into the store, everybody in your face, because you look less looking less intimidating to that man. When you dressed up and you got them heels on, we don't know. We looking at like you think it's crazy. Ron can test a music playing out here, like, oh my God. I don't even know what to say to her, man.
Listen, I'm so glad you went there, because my question is, does intimacy require safety? And one of the things that I feel like what you're hitting on is that a lot of people they run into you to be their safe haven, but they don't realize that they also have to provide that safety for you. And if a
Correct.
person is intimidated, or a person feels as though they're not needed, or a person feels as though you know that their needs, it's almost like a unconscious selfishness, where their needs are so important that they really can't give you what you need. It may not be by choice, it may not even be because they want to, but they're incapable of giving you what you need because they're so needy.
They can't
They're
get out of their own heads.
right.
Well, I
So
think
that person is so needy. And so what I want to ask with that, to couple with what you guys are saying, is when you think about intimacy, can a person that is intimidated, can a person that feels less than truly be intimate?
no.
No, I don't think so.
Bottom line.
That
Let me
sounds to me
explain
like
something to you,
brokenness.
because y'all have really touched on something real profound and real deep. And I notice a lot of my male friends go through that. I'm gonna speak to it as best I can, because I never struggled with that. I never felt that anyone was above me or unapproachable. But what I learned in some of my studies is that it's self-preservation. A lot of people, you find there's a few of us that put others before ourselves. A lot of people don't do that no more.
No.
Because of what he spoke of early, is what we've been through. I've been through a divorce, somebody been hurt. So I'm only gonna go this far. And as soon as I see a red flag, I'm gonna bow out. You know. So if you're not healing, if you're not willing to, like you said, that person, and that's great, Runita, that sometimes we so engrossed in what we need, we don't have the capacity to give, and that's not going to work, but for so long, because we can come in there and we can be, let me make it personal. I was raised by my mom and her 5 sisters. So everything that I saw, my aunt say, if a man did this, then it would be better. So when I went into my marriage, I did all them things. But however, I felt like I was still getting treated like them cats out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But what worked for my mom and my aunt, that's not what she could, God from Zion. That's what she wasn't asking that of me. So when I got older, I can honestly say I wasn't giving her what she needed. I gave her what she thought, what I thought she needed. My professor said something so profound. We got it all wrong. He said, stop saying treat people how you want to be treated. No, treat them how they want to be treated. So when you do that, that means you put in the work to see what are their dislikes and their likes.
But
And
isn't
that's
that with communication?
That's a part of, yeah, that's
Isn't that with communication? That's what communication is for, right?
And that dating phase that we speak of, that's what you should be learning. Instead of, I think it's the cute thing to say now, what do you bring to the table? Who asked that?
Ron,
You know, who asked that question? That's what the dating phase is for, to learn. And you shouldn't have to ask that question because
collecting data.
So,
this is the thing. Hey, Ron, I will say this. I used to think that women were the weaker link. It's not. It's us. The men are the weaker link. I'm going to tell you why. When we go through a divorce, man, or we get hurt, I say 80% of men are through. They'll never get back there again. Women will try. They'll still bring their baggage. They'll still bring things they've been hurt about, but they at least will try. They'll get in the ring with you. We're not trying to hear it. We're not trying to hear it because of what we've been through or because we've been hurt so much. This is where God comes in. Because without this is where both parties have to have their own individual walk with Christ, but having a walk with Christ together. Because I don't care what Runita say. If Runita hurt my feelings, Runita hurt me, regardless, and vice versa. So God has to be the one to come. The third strand got to come between us and say, look, y'all got to cut this out. You know what I'm saying? Without the third strand, all we're doing is winging it, man. We're not seeing successful relationships. We're not seeing all this stuff. Dating has went to an all-time low because everybody feels they're not getting something out of it. Women, they feel like women are getting free meals, men are paying for dates and stuff like that and not getting anything in return. Men date with wanting a return. Women are intimate sexually with a return. Women are not out here just giving it up for no reason. It has to have a point. Like the people say, it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Okay. All right. One more thing about intimacy that I want to leave everybody with. Think about the ones that are single, the ones that are married or divorced, whatever stage of relationship you're in. Have you found yourself being someone else's battery? And now that you have exhausted everything that you have, you've given all that you have to give, and the battery basically is dead. They're ready to exchange you for some new batteries. That is when you're intimate, you're pouring so much of you out, and there's nothing being poured back in you.
You're not being recharged.
That's not being intimate though. Runita, that's not being intimate. If it's only one-sided.
Right. No. You're absolutely correct. But that's what we look at it as. Mentally, you are so connected. You're so vulnerable. You're so invested. That one thing. And you're thinking because the person is nice or the person is in your company, that person is giving you that, but you're now that the blinders are off, the scales are removed, you're starting to see that you haven't been getting refueled.
Can I say something real quick?
I finished my statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that sometimes we're looking for somebody else to recharge us when we should be looking at ourselves to recharge ourselves sometimes too. That means you take your time away from your spouse, your significant other, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, and you go spend time with the Lord, go get your nails done, go get your feet done, go take your bubble bath, have time to recharge yourself. But also, if you're in a relationship, you need that person to make you feel, I guess, one, and needed too. But as men and women, you need to be able to go and have your time apart to recharge yourself too, so your battery won't be on E.
I think Runita's talking about something different. That's your personal self. She's talking about in the actual relationship. Most
In a relationship
people
too, because I have a
Right.
friend that, I mean, you're sitting here that has that, you know, if you're married, you are with your husband a lot of the times, right? Or your boyfriend or a girlfriend, and y'all with each other. But you also need that time to go recharge yourself. And he needs to make you feel like, I don't like flowers, but if my dude decide he wants to bring me flowers, I'm going to feel special and appreciate them, and not say, oh, I don't like flowers. I'm going to go back and say, oh, thank you, baby. I appreciate you. You know, he's pouring into me. But I also have to take time for myself too in that relationship. Or
But he's not pouring
Yeah,
into
but
you if
things
you
have
don't like flowers. If you don't like flowers, he's not pouring
I was
into
just
you.
saying, I was using it as an example, but my thing, I mean, I have gotten flowers from people, and I felt it was the thought that counted. You know what I'm saying? It was his thought that counted because he took the time out to bring it. And after I got the flowers, appreciated it, and then the next day I was like, you know, I really don't like flowers, but I appreciate your thought.
And listen, everybody thinking is different. For
Amen.
me, you giving me something that I don't like, you if we're talking about intimacy, you got to give me what I need. We just said, don't love the person the way you want to be loved. Love them the way they need. If my love language is physical touch or acts of service, you can't then turn around and love me differently. And I'm not going to be recharged. Even if I'm like, oh, thank you so much. It's
Right.
not going to refuel me. It's going to
Right.
I'm still going to be depleted. It's like you need premium gas, but somebody's giving you diesel.
Runita,
You
what you
might
were
run,
saying,
but after a while, you're going to blow up.
Runita, what you were saying about you giving, it's, I'll make sure I say the word right, reciprocity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got pastors in here, and I'm pretty sure you know the word more than I do. But Joseph in the Bible took a lot of heat, took a lot of stuff from his family. God knew his heart. He was giving so much of himself to help his family. It's like grieving when you don't get it back. It's like grieving because you're giving so much of yourself. If Ron, if I give you $10, man, I can't get $1 back. I can't get
God
$2 back. So
Wow.
at the end of the day, somebody is loving and giving so much of themselves. And to say to recharging is sometimes, I guess the wrong thing to say is putting your batteries in your partner. When truth be told, you're supposed to be putting your batteries into God. And those times that you take those breaks to go refuel yourself or go get your nails done or go spend that time with yourself, how much time are you and him spending talking to God about your relationship?
But that's what I say. If you take your time out and spend time and talk to the Lord about everything, and you're taking that time out, you could be in the bubble bath, relaxing, cool, and talking to the Lord about what's going on with you, getting recharged, reading your word. But I mean, I think everybody's definition of intimacy is kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, like for me, I like physical touch. But I mean, but if you give me something as a gift, I feel it's your thought that counted. You took the time out to do it. And that to me is intimacy too, because you thought enough about me to bring me flowers, or you thought enough about me to bring me something to eat. whether I wanted it or not. I think that to me was an initiative. That's to me another part of intimacy. I may not like flowers, but you as the man took enough time out your day to go pick out some roses for me. That's intimacy. That to me is something special. I don't know. Maybe
what
What
Runita is saying, she's saying when you have given, and you're not receiving.
And you're because you give out.
She's saying, what do you do when you're that tired and you're that depleted?
You go and tell your partner. You have to tell your partner, right?
If you get to that point in your relationship or whatever you doing, then it's not conversations that's being had. Right. And the problem is, bottom line, we do not have the tough conversation with each other. You should never get to the place, if you're in a relationship or any ship. Let me tell you this. A ship is supposed to take you places.
That's right.
If that ship don't take you no place, then it's all right to abandon ship. Y'all got me on one now.
Amen.
Okay? So if you're not getting fed where you at, you have to move. So we can talk about little Peter, we can talk about little stomach ache, little Jane, or whatever. After a while, we have to look at ourselves. If you had this conversation and you're still not being accommodated or what you need from that, that's why this organization, I'm a Mason, and we're called Traveling Men. Because once we have made our way and did what we had to do here, then you got to move on. If you're not getting fed, then you go somewhere where you're being fed. Stop being so heavenly bound that you're no earthly good.
Hold on, Micheline, Michelle, and then we're gonna go to intentionality.
People want out of a relationship what they can't do for themselves. And to speak to what you were saying, Yomi, what you were saying is self-care as far as restoring yourself, not restoring yourself in the relationship. I think we have to put things in their individual basket and deal with them as, individually. Now, if and trust me, I've been here, done that. If I'm in a relationship, I am like you were saying, you don't give the man the place to be a man. I'm one of the most submissive people you want to meet. And that's all the way around. That's just who I am. Even though I am a strong person, even though I am, whatever it is that I am, I don't push that on anybody. But I look for in a relationship what I cannot provide for myself. And those are things, companionship, partnership. All of those ships require more than one person to connect with. So if those things aren't being reciprocated, if you're pouring out all that you have, giving, and then you're depleted, so you give out, and there's nothing being restored. If you have certain things that you need out of a relationship, and none of that is what's being given, then that's where the depletion is that Runita is speaking of. But, I think we all, and I think a lot of people find it hard to put in words, but we need out of a relationship what we can't do for ourselves. If we can do it for ourselves, then we don't need it in a relationship for real.
Okay, I definitely want to come back and explore that because I got some questions, but I don't want to hold Michelle.
I really don't have anything. I don't really have anything to say. I kind of agree with Craig, what he was saying, basically about Joseph and how you've given, and when your battery is dead, there's only two things that you can do. You can go buy a new battery, or you can put that one on charge with the best type of cables you can, and see if it's even worth restoring the battery or having the battery recharged. Because sometimes I think is the chemistry dies in the relationship, because of the lack of something between one or the other person. It could be the man, it could be the woman. And once there's lack, and you don't have that key of communication, communication is intimacy. No other way you can look at it. Communication is intimacy, because once you speak from your heart, then you open up the doors to say, okay, so he needs this. Okay, I understand that she needs that. And so we bring those things together. And then once you see the partner working on what he has spoken clearly that he needs, and I have spoken clearly what I need, and we bring those things together. But if you lack those, guess what? Those two things that I just mentioned, either you're going to go buy you another battery, which means you're going to step outside of the relationship, or you're going to do everything you can to recharge the battery.
Very, very well put. Ron was speaking of something and Micheline was speaking of something. So let's transition over to intentionality. Sometimes I think we stumble into situations, and in a lot of ways that's good. But I think you should know what it is that you are looking for. You should be very purposeful and intentional when you're talking about, especially romantic relationships. Now, I'm no expert, but this is just my opinion. I think one of the problems with relationships is we get into those relationships, and Ron said something that was, oh my goodness, the hard conversations aren't happening. They're definitely not happening during the courting and the wooing and we're googly eyed, and a lot of those conversations are being missed. We're ignoring things that are like commercials right before our eyes. And I just want us to talk about a little bit. In order to be intentional and be in a relationship, you have to be in a place where you can be your secret self.
Wow.
Like the person that the flawed you, the person that was out there tricking, you know what I mean? And you can tell that person these things and know that it's not going to be thrown back in your face, it's not going to be used against you. You have to be able to be your secret self, your vulnerable self, the person that says, I was abused, or the person that says I was raped, or the person that says, I'm adopted, and I need to feel chosen and included. I think a lot of times we're not there. What do you guys have to say about that?
I think personally it starts with honesty. Runita, Yo, as far as I can remember, y'all been friends for decades. Decades.
That's a age.
Have you two had an argument before?
Yes.
Have you both disagreed on things?
Yes.
Plenty.
You're both being honest with each other.
Yes.
Now, Runita, when you say anything to Yo, she has to know that even if you say something that she doesn't agree with, it's coming from a place of love. You can agree with that. Yo, the same thing, Runita. When she says something to you, she's not coming to tear you down. She's coming from a place of love. Now,
correct.
in an intimate relationship, here's the problem: is that when you're intimate with someone and you're coming from a place of honesty, sometimes it's not received well by the man or the woman. So when you asking for honesty and you give it, sometimes that vulnerability that you do talk about gets thrown back in your face in arguments in different places. So now you're reserved with your honesty and everything. I always say I can't treat the truth like a lie. So if I'm gonna get upset if you lie to me, and I get upset when you tell me the truth, then a person gonna take the thing of shutting down. Let's talk about men. Men rarely talk. I can't hear you. You got your mic off, Runita.
You're muted, Runita.
Those dogs keep barking. I'm so sorry. I was saying, I wanted to stay right there real quick. So I want to make sure we understand what you're saying. So you're saying because what they're saying is true, that it's okay?
What I'm saying, but what they're saying is true. Sometimes, depending on where you are in your relationship, is not taken well. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to understand. I had this hard conversation with my cousin one day. He was laying me out, Runita. He was getting into me. He was saying some things, girl, that I wanted to pull the fist out and knock him out. And he stopped me. He said, have I ever done anything to you? Have I ever crossed you? Have I ever misled you? Have I ever betrayed you? And I said, no. Then why can't you understand what I'm telling you is coming from a place of love? You just don't want to hear what I got to say. He was right. Because I love him.
I think that's different than what I'm saying is where somebody weaponizes a vulnerable place in your life. That's a different place. Now you saying that, Runita, you used to be out there. I that wouldn't, whomever, that wouldn't be a thing. But when you weaponize the reason why don't nobody want you is because you was a whore. You know what I'm saying? That is weaponizing somebody's vulnerable place.
If that's coming from, Runita, what you just said, you was out there. If that's coming from somebody in the street, you're going to pay that no mind. But if I'm laying beside you every night, loving on you, and I say that to you, that's going to be taken differently, baby.
It's taken as a difference.
Under those circumstances, though, that person is not your safe place.
Right.
The person that you're intimate with needs to be
your safe
place. You need to be safe, and that's one of the things that people in general, not just women, but women need to feel safe and need to feel protected.
Also, I need to feel that same thing from you as well.
Absolutely.
I said people in general.
Most men. Now I'm gonna say this because normally I don't throw the jug like this. Most men, I don't know if it's you, Ron. Most men do not talk to their women and be vulnerable with their women because it gets thrown back in their face and in an argument.
Absolutely.
And now when it's time for that man to throw it in their face, it's man to talk. He not saying
then what needs to happen is that man needs to go to the drawing board if they're not in a safe place. That's still the same thing. They're not in a safe place.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, that may have happened with Sally Sue. If the person they're with now is their safe place, it may have happened with Sally Sue, but they're still carrying that with Mary Jane because of what they've experienced before.
And this
if
is
you're
why
going to be with somebody, you need to, and it's healthy. You need to ensure that they're a safe place for you, because if you're sitting around holding in, that place of holding in stuff turns into resentment.
Let me say this.
Where's your outlet?
Let me say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. You can love a woman properly, and still she's more vulnerable than she is when she got hurt. If you love a woman properly, she's still scared. The bottom line is what I will say with this. No 30, 40, 50-year relationship, marriage, do not dismiss us from everything that's going on. Everything that we're talking about is going to always tie in back to we need the third strand, we need the God. Because regardless, if I'm with Yo-Yo, and she's been hurt, I might be your punching bag. She might get at me. But sometimes, that's what I was talking about, Ron. Even though that might not be right, I still got to have patience and understand that this woman, I love this woman.
Can I say,
if she's not healed though, Craig?
But
that's where healing comes in.
Okay, then how many women that we're seeing and men get into relationships and they're not healed? Like she said, when she said she go off to pray and everything like that, how many of us are really praying together? I can understand you want to talk to God on your own, you want to have the walk with God on your own, but the head of this household, just like we said, a family that pray together, stay together. When are we praying together about what we going on? Like Ron said, like Runita said, these hard conversations are not being had because we're going to have to go to God with a lot of this. Because we cannot heal each other. Because if we could, we would.
Exactly. No, I'm not saying that we need to heal each other. I'm not saying that people need to heal each other. I'm saying that people need to seek out their own healing. If there's a place of brokenness that's there, healing is essential if you're going to be with another person. because those vulnerabilities, those triggers, all of that needs to be dealt with because they're going to come every day. You need to learn how to deal with them in a healthy manner. You need to learn how to be with other people, not just an intimate relationship. That's any relationship. I've had times before, when I was all the pieces, I've had times where somebody would say something, it would send me into a spiral, a downward spiral, as far as I'm internalizing everything that they're saying, and what they're saying had nothing to do with me, but they triggered me and made me think of something that happened when I was 13, or you know what I'm saying? And I'm using this just as an example, but it triggered something that had nothing to do with what's being said right now. They didn't do anything to me, but I'm internalizing everything they're saying because I'm broken.
And I truly believe, am I muted? Okay, I'm not. I truly believe that in a lot of times I was just going through what I was studying and asking God to help me to be able to facilitate the conversation. And God showed me that a lot of us do a lot of self-work. We do a lot of healing while we're single, even sometimes in the midst of a relationship, and we have really transformed, but we don't see ourselves transform. So we still pick people, we still enter into relationships and situations out of those same broken places. Even though you've done all this work, we're still, it's like that movie Shallow Hal. I can't remember which way it was, but I believe she had lost weight, but she was still seeing herself heavy. Or it might have been vice versa. But
I watch it.
No, he's
however you are,
Right.
however you are, is somebody trying to say something? Because I don't know. However you're seeing yourself, a lot of times we'll see ourselves as we were, opposed to as we are. I had a conversation with Ron, I think it was last week, and he said to me clearly, you don't know who you are. You still don't know who you are. And I thought about that thing. And a lot of times when you don't know who you are, when you really don't identify with who you are, there is no way that you can be in a relationship and show someone else how to love you and how to treat you, because you're so confused and broken about who you are. So you will settle for things. You will be okay with half and a third and all of those, all of those situations. It's just a true fact. Michelle said it one morning that broken parents are raising broken kids, because we're broken. We're just teaching them from a broken place. We're raising them and pouring into them from a broken place. And I think that's the biggest problem. We're so eager to be in something that we're not making sure we're the best version of ourselves before we get into that.
Runita, Ron told you right. Ron told you right. This is why I say to myself, I feel sorry for a majority of women that's single to this day. For this fact right here, that men are so used to women needing them for status, monetary, all that. But when you get a real woman to come to you and say, I care nothing about your money, I care nothing about your cars, I care nothing about that, I care about you. Some men do not understand what that means because they've never had to be themselves in no relationship. They had to be what they thought the woman wanted. So now when you ask, it's like, that's why I say the thing about being intimidated. We are not intimidated by women. We just don't, it's when she's asking you to be you, wow, I don't even know who that is. So when I don't know who that is, how in the world you gonna trust me with your heart? You gonna trust me with your kids? You gonna trust me with your finances? You gonna trust me with your spirituality? You gonna trust me with your overall growth? How are we gonna do that when I don't even know who I am? This is why the third strand is definitely a issue. God orders a man's steps, but a lot of times as broken women, we broken too. Men are broken too.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I said people. We all have to, because those hurt places, that's where the wall come in at.
The question is, Any of these women on this panel can ask this question. And Ron can say the same thing. Can you love me when I'm broken? Because in the eyes of a woman, that's all we punks. Can you love me when I'm coming to you soft as a tissue and say, look, I need you more than anything. As a man, I don't have a problem saying I need you. I'm sorry. I love you. And can you help me?
But you're
Go ahead.
You would be an exception, Craig, because most men don't. Most men, when they start to feel vulnerable, that's when they turn resentful. That's when they turn angry. Me, I can, I can get to, I can do that, but I think I'm a little bit of an exception because of where I've been and where I'm traveling.
Our backgrounds have a lot to do with what you're talking about, how we were raised.
Right, exactly.
I was taught. I don't know about you, Ron. Y'all watch me grow up. I was taught if a man did something, shake it off, get up. Don't cry about it. Get your butt up and do what you got to do. We were not taught. My mother told me one time that she did not know men had feelings until she had us. Wow. Until she had us. Until she see me coming off the bus. Don't laugh at me, Runita. Coming off the bus, getting hurt by some girl, and I got the boombox in the living room playing slow music because I can't understand what just happened. At the end of the day, we are not taught vulnerability. We're not taught love. My dad didn't teach me that. He taught me how to survive. I guess he figured I would learn love on the way. I wasn't taught that. So now,
let me right here. That's why we're having the Forgive Him conference June 24th through the 25th, 22. The Forgive Him, because we're told boys don't cry, be tough, suck it up, drive on, all of those things. So you're absolutely.
I'll say this
from being raised or taught wrong.
I'll be vulnerable on this podcast. And I'm gonna try to keep these tears from not flowing. Bottom line is this: as a man, as a real man, you're trusted with so much. You're fighting so many things to provide, to protect. We got kids getting killed. We got to protect these families. We got these little girls going through it. You got to provide. You got to put food on the table. You got so much that's required that you don't have time to soak. You don't have time to get in the corner. You don't have time to do that. The same way you women talk to y'all best friends, I could be on the phone with Ron crying to him, saying, yo, brother, I don't know what to do. And you can't tell your family you don't know what to do. You can't say that because you're looking like you're not leading. You don't have the answers. Your woman is expecting you to know what's what. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not easy. And then we come home and we have to sometimes fight our women. And we don't want to fight them.
I haven't been a man. So I don't know what you're feeling. But one thing I can tell you, that a woman that loves you, she's going to be that safe place for you so that you can tell her, I don't know what to do. I think just like we're saying as far as women, that we're picking the wrong men, y'all's experience is panning out to be the wrong women as well, because that's what I'm saying. It needs to be a safe place. I want my husband to be, I want him to be able, I want him to come to me and say he's hurting. He doesn't feel this, or he's concerned about this, because how else are we both able to be our secret self? You shouldn't have to be your secret self with Ron and you got somebody laying beside you. I shouldn't have to be my self with Yomi and I got somebody laying beside me.
I think, and Ron, you can help me with this, Ron. I think the problem is, and I think it's a problem is with men, is that when we go out into the jungle and we got to go fight. We go fight every day. I think sometimes when we come home, we don't know how to turn that off. Like we don't know how to turn that off. Like you're doing your best to turn it off because your woman don't deserve anything that's in the streets. But when you come home, and you do get that love, and you do get that safe haven, to go back out there in the fight sometimes hinders you. My grandmama used to say,
That's
she used to
good.
tell all my girl cousins to find a man who really loves you, because you can love. If you find a man that can really love you, you have something. Because it's hard for us to differentiate between the two. Fighting the battle that we have as a black man in America and then coming home and taking it out on our black women is not the way. But you got to understand that we have been conditioned because we're working so hard. This is why I have God. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have God, because I would be afraid of me providing and providing and providing and providing. A woman will say to you, if you take care of everybody, baby, who taking care of you? I'm somebody's child. I'm somebody's son as well. It is hard, Runita. It truly is. And that's why men need to be more real with themselves and stop acting so tough. Because at the end of the day, you need help. You need help. Just like anything else. If you see a celebrity, you see anybody's making money, they have a team. You cannot do this by yourself.
Right there.
Oh my goodness! Pastor Michelle and I was having a conversation 2 days ago, and I was telling her in my study, I heard Bishop Jake say, if you have a vision, and that thing stuck with me. He was talking about Moses and how Moses delegated the vision down, and it took 70 people to carry out Moses' vision. And he was saying, anybody that has a vision, you got to have a team. You got to have people that can help carry out that vision.
Exactly.
You can do it all by yourself. So that is so true. And I want to say, and then Michelle, Yomi, you haven't said anything. Ron, if it was a really eye-opening moment when you just said, Craig, y'all go out in these streets, in this world, in this jungle that hates black men. You're hated. You're hated and you're hunted. And you got to be 3 times better than everyone else. You got to be stronger. You got to be faster, more intelligent. You have all of this on your shoulders. Then you come home, even though this is your safe place, you are prepared for battle. So by the time you unwind, you go to sleep, you wake up, you got to do the same thing. So it's hard for you to that's really eye-opening. And I know that gives me great perspective, because I think, because I dropped mine off at the door, that's what you should do as well. Drop it off. Leave it. We used to say in the Army, when I left the office, when I drove off post, that was it. I wasn't a soldier no more. I'm a person.
Somebody still standing watch. Somebody still standing watch, though, Runita. Somebody still standing watch. Even though you put it down, you're on the use military, you still standing watch. As a man, we on watch 24/7. If it's not over you, it's over the children, it's over the car, it's over the house, it's over our own self. We are watching. And
that's when you need to have a female to have your back. That is, like Runita said, your safe haven. Someone that knows that my man is always standing watch, but I got him, and I'm gonna watch his back so he can relax. You don't get me wrong. When push come to shove, of course we want the man to step up. But one thing for sure, and 2 things for certain: if you fight, when you go to battle, I'm going to battle along with my man. We in this together. You are not alone.
Anybody can go to battle together when they have a common cause. Where is the fight with my woman when it's time for us to stay together? Where is that fight? I don't care. We can fight together all day.
But my thing is, if y'all are communicating and y'all are talking and we are, I know. First of all, there's no perfect relationship.
No question.
You're gonna have disagreements. You're gonna have your moments where you getting on my nerves, Craig. I got to go stand out here and outside for a minute. Right. You go there in the room and do whatever you do, lift weights, whatever, because we need our time, to regroup. But at the end of the day, I asked my aunt and my uncle, who's been married like 50, 51 years, how did they stay together so long? One thing they both said was, before we went to sleep at night, we had to resolve whatever issue we had. Because we can't go to bed and still holding resentment or anger in our sleep, because then we won't get a good night's sleep. So that sticks with me with whomever I'm with. I'm not going to bed angry. We're going to resolve this issue. We're going to talk. And then they said you have to talk to each other, but not at each other. So that goes to, you two have to be on the same ground. Like you said, men are always on the battlefield. They always, but as a woman, I have to see that. I have to acknowledge that, but tell you, baby, it's okay. It's okay to put your armor down sometime. It's okay to be soft. It's okay to cry. It's okay.
You know what, yo, I tell anybody about showing love. I show love more in difficult times. A woman can tell you, Craig, I love you, I love you, I love you. That's cool. Love me when we going at each other. Love me when you don't feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Show love when I done pissed you off, when you gotta go walk outside. Can you still open your arms up and say, Craig, I love you? We are fighting the wrong people. We're fighting each other. We're not including Christ. And we have no forgiveness.
Absolutely. All of those things are good. Ron, you got something?
No, no.
Okay, Michelle, go ahead. Yes.
Okay, so just a couple of things. I take my hat off to you, Craig, again. But one thing I want to say is this morning, Reverend Runita had posted something that says, don't worry about tomorrow because tomorrow will worry about itself. And we know in the word of God, Jesus also rested. So there has to be a time and a place where you rest and put the armor down and let God be God and you be the man to your woman or whoever it is that you may be in relationship with. And another thing I wanted to say, men were raised to be tough, but Black women were raised to deal with it, to endure everything. Now, I know y'all go through, go through hell and high waters, but we take every dot, every arrow, every single thing that comes to us, and we still have to be mother. We still have to be daughter. We still have to be wife. We still have to be, like, we have a lot of hats. I know y'all have to take stuff outside the door, but we have to wear a lot of hats. And so sometimes we may get the hats confused, but trust me, you're always going to catch us with one of those hats on. And the last thing I wanted to say is that we always want to remember that broken crayons still color.
Woo!
You better say that.
Broken crayons still color.
Tell us what that means.
So when I say broken crayons, if you ever, I'm a visionary. So if you ever broke your crayon and you still tried to use it, you can use it even if you got a little bit of it. So if you got a little bit of it, baby, I want you to know tonight that there is still hope in your relationship. There's still hope in your intimacy. There's still hope. Long as you hold on to that little piece of crayon, you keep coloring, brother. I don't care. I just don't care. You keep right on coloring because it's going to be all right. Eventually, you're going to make the picture that you see in your vision, because first of all, the man has to have the vision for the home. The man has to be in his rightful place, as a woman's supposed to come up right beside him, not behind him, not in front of him, but right beside him. And y'all walk that thing together.
You better say so.
Oh. I agree with that. But I'm just Pastor, I just wanted to understand, because at the end of the day, men are getting left these days. It's more women filing for divorce than ever. And the fact of the matter is, I think what it boils down to, on just keeping it straight 100, I just think we are tired. We want somebody not to give up on us. I think that's what this truly is one thing to grow on your own, but to grow together. It's kind of like going to those cookouts where they say, we don't know if we're together, because if we tell you we're together, everybody got a whole bunch of questions that we can't answer. The bottom line is, I think people just want to know that you there. They don't have to look over their shoulder and wonder if you're gonna be there or not. That's the problem with the community, our culture. If like he said, like Vaughn said, you see a red flag, you quick to hit the eject button. Nobody's been married for so long. Like I'll give you something personal about me. They'll ask me, do you have any deal breakers? And I say no. And people say, why you don't have any deal breakers? Because I know if you're gonna live a lifetime with a person, that some of the deals that you have are gonna be broken. If you say you don't like somebody to lie to you, somebody's gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna do something that you don't approve of. Can you know the worst thing about me, Michelle, and still love me? That's the question I have. Can you know the worst thing about me?
That's what we've been talking about. That's exactly what we've been talking about. We have to come to a conclusion where the person that you are going to be the closest with, because the Bible tells us that the man and woman join together and leave everybody else, forsake everybody else. So that tells me that is the closest relationship outside of my relationship with God. So when I'm intimate and I'm in this mental, emotional, physical oneness with my spouse, he has to be that safe place for me, and I have to be that safe place where I do know the worst things about you. I know what you used to be, what you used to do, what you're capable of doing. I know all those things, but I love you despite all that, and you love me despite all that. And I think that's what Michelle was saying when she was just saying all of those things, that we have got to get to a place where we're allowing God to be God and worry about the things that we have no control over. You can't control whether somebody break in this house or not. Whether even if you was standing on post, watching ID cards like we do on base, it's nothing you could do about it. If they're trying to come in here, they're going to come in here. But we got to get to a place where we are the best version of ourselves for each other. And when you're not your best version, I don't weaponize it and use it against you. I don't degrade you, disrespect you, down you. I still love you the same. I may be angry. The Bible said, be angry, but sin not. The sin part comes in when you calling me what my mom didn't name me. I'm calling you what we going back and forth, and then turn around and beautiful. I love you. You're amazing. You're the greatest man I've ever seen. Cause I ain't forgot that yesterday I was a piece of trash.
You can't unhear it.
Today I'm something else. So I think we have got to. We're all saying the same thing. We're just saying it different. But what I'm getting is men need that from women too. But y'all have not been comfortable with saying that. And that brings me to our next one. Then we go into ideals, because we could be up here to New Year's Eve. There's a lot of people that are drained and lonely because we are connected but not filled. And that leaves you lonely. Like, you're connected. You're in a relationship with somebody, but you're still lonely. You're still by yourself. You're still at a place where you feel as though, I got somebody, but I don't have them. I posted today, Robin Williams, the comedian that killed himself, he posted, the worst thing in the world is, I used to think the worst thing in the world was being alone. But I've come to realize that the worst thing in the world is being with people or connected to people and still feeling alone. And when you think about that, you expect, when you tell me you love me, when you tell me we're going to be in this thing together, when you tell me we're together, you expect that to work out. You expect that to be, what we're going to do. We're going to fight for each other's love. But I think we give title to a lot of people that aren't ready for a title. Like, we give a friend dating. We give dating boyfriend or girlfriend, and we give boyfriend and girlfriend fiance and fiance husband. And these people aren't ready for these. They're not ready for the elevations. We may be, and I can only speak for me. I have been to a place where I'm ready for this and I'm ready for that, but on the other side, they're not ready. Versa. was ready.
That's what I was talking about earlier when I say,
You frozen a little bit.
You freezing up.
Yeah, you froze. You good now.
Sorry. I don't know how I'm freezing and I'm hardwired. Cops, get your life. But something I want us to think about and then go to ideal so we can talk about that because I think that's very important. Dog from a puddle on the ground with mud in it, worms in it. It could even be poop in it because they thirsty and they just want to quench that thirst. Have we been relationship dogs, not like running from person to person, but you so thirsty to be in a relationship that you drinking from puddles that's muddled, that's filled with toxin and everything else, and then we're expecting that fountain or that puddle of mud to now be filtered and clean and provide us the nutrients and nourishment that we need. Listen, when God was showing me these things, I had to just take a nap. That was my only option because
I know that's right.
But I mean, think about it. Have we been to that place where we're just willing to be so we can have?
I have settled. Yes.
I know
I was looking in the dirt and the mud
Yeah.
I was surfing up worms and everything else, but I was ready to be in that type of relationship. But that person or they weren't ready. And I was settling just to have somebody.
I say all the time, my picker was broke.
All day.
I wanted to believe in the mess.
I believe if you pick your woman or she picks you, I believe that it's not. I don't believe that it will work because why would you even go talk to God because you believe that you had something to do with it? I believe that this is why people say to me, I feel like people say they're waiting on Christ to send them somebody. Because if Christ do it, you have no part in it. If you do it, you think you did it. And God's going to get the glory, is what we say, right?
Right.
And everything. So at the end of the day, I think a lot of us, we can't go away from the nature. None of us want to be alone. Mm-hmm. That's not where we was designed. We was not designed to be alone. So I think sometimes you're not picking from a place of godliness. I think you're picking from a place of selfishness. That's just my
thirst.
Can I say that we are I guess conditioned in a way because a lot of those old songs, was it Betty Wright? Is that her name? A piece of a man is better than a whole of a man, or something like that. She said. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those songs that we used to listen to, I still listen to.
Listen, you ain't white.
They will say,
black folks don't do that. Stop it.
No, that's what Betty Wright said.
Little Johnny do that. Stop it. We don't. Ain't no song.
No,
let me tell you.
Now. There has been plenty of times because I know where relationships is a black couple, they may be married, but he got a whole nother person on another side of the.
That ain't got nothing to do with nobody's song.
No, I'm just saying that's what we're saying. We will settle for this instead of knowing what we're worth in the end.
This is my plan, and I might have to cut off because to charge my phone. But this is my bottom line on this: we go out there and get what we want instead of getting what we need, and we have a God that allows us to do our own will instead of His will. You know, so when we go out there, and then to Craig's point, we pick it, and then, oh God, release me from this thing. You didn't call on Him. You didn't call him. You didn't seek Him when you made that choice. But now, oh God, He did. No. We go out there, and I had the biggest argument. I don't know if y'all remember the young lady we went to school with. Well, I ain't going to even mention her name. But she said she got into a marriage and she wasn't really attracted to the dude. But basically what she was telling me is all right if he act up, but if he act up this time, I'm going to make sure he's attractive. You understand what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something. We go out here and do what we want to do. And then we say, oh God, how did this happen? This, that, and the third. He showed you, he showed me exactly what we needed, but no, she don't have needs like Megan. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got money like Will.
But he'll go give you the desires of your heart, right?
So we get into the whole want of the thing, and we don't dibble in the need. Like somebody asked me, what now? I never look for physical. Never look for physical for long term. Because long term physical change. Okay?
Oh, Lord.
Okay, that changed on the long term. But going back to the original thing, is the intimacy is what keeps you. Let me tell y'all some man one-on-one. Let me bless you real quick.
Bless us.
It don't matter how fine you are. Most men, when they go outside their home, because whatever Johnny went outside his home to get is making Johnny feel good about him. Okay? Just like Craig was saying, he's not that what y'all call it, side piece the young folks say now. Oh, it ain't no argument over there. It ain't no whatever. It's relaxation. It's this, it's that, it's the whatever. You know, but home is the stress, it's the this, or okay, you did this, well, we need to do this and we need to do that. And that's both sides. Don't get it twisted. That's both sides, men and women. If you go home and you sit in your car for 20 minutes before you go inside that door, then you need to reevaluate the situation you in. Now, it's all right to be wrong, but staying wrong is where you mess up. Right. So it's just that thing, man. And that's the bottom line for men and women. We go out there and get what we want instead of going out there and seeking what we need. I'm done with it.
Hey,
Ron,
why you making face?
Put your phone on the charger. Don't disappear because you hit on everything that I got on this paper for ideals. Listen, let's go to ideas before his phone dies.
We talked about this the other day, Runita.
Yo, why you making them faces?
I mean, because listen, me and Yomi, we all last year, or year before, 2020, we had this conversation: desires versus demands. Listen, let's just keep it real. Now, Ron and Micheline, y'all are the most amazing people I know. I'm just being honest. I don't know people like y'all.
Amen.
Y'all are the male and female version of one another. Micheline said the same exact words that you just said to me. Because I was like, girl, what's your type? Well, I don't really have a type. I don't look at the fit. I'm like, what? So he could be a hip with a lip, a crack with an eye. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that mature.
Me,
but that's what she was saying. So, but what the other thing Ron said that I want him to comment on, I posted this today. I'm telling the Lord just knew what we was going to talk about. Have you ever prayed for something? Then when you received it, you didn't want it.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
Have you ever seen it?
We want it. We want this thing. We want it so bad. We say God gave it to us. We even blame it on God. God told me to turn left. He was standing there on one leg and he was shaking his eye. And I knew he was the one for me. We'll say all of these things, but it's not true. Michelle look like she tired. Michelle, I know you get up early, girl. If you need to drop off, do what you got to do. You know we love to have you here. Okay. But I know you get up early to give that word on Friday, and I need to be ready for that word. But go ahead.
Remember, I said that just what you said will break your confidence in the word and what God is saying. If God did it or whatever, if you believe that, because I we were talking about situations that I felt like God did it, but then when it was garbage, I'm like, oh God, I know you didn't do this. So I'm doubting, if it's God. Am I really hearing, the word of God? Am I hearing God speak to me on stuff?
But this is my thing. I met a dude, a guy. He is the nicest person I met, but I am not attracted to him at all. Physically, physically, emotionally, nothing.
Hey,
And so my thing is, I was like,
lives.
God, I want somebody to open my doors. I want somebody that's nice.
Story
I want
of our
somebody.
lives.
But my thing is, but also, God, you know, I have to be somewhat attracted to this person. I'm just being real. I gotta be attracted to some kind of way.
Can we pick you apart? Can we use you as a demonstration? Because this
Go
is
ahead. Go
okay.
ahead.
So let's start with the fifth. I don't want you to tear the man down. That's not what I'm asking you. What I'm saying is, what is it that physically you're saying he's too short, he's too tall? Like, what is it that physically he's not what you want?
Physically, honestly, I'm short. He's shorter than me.
Kevin Hart.
That doesn't attract me, right? And then he's nice. I'm trying to be honest. When we went out to eat,
we just about
physically. So he's short.
He can't control
He's
that.
somewhat kind of dressed, but he don't dress. You know what I mean?
Dog,
you can teach him that. You can teach him
Huh?
that.
Hold on, he kind of don't undress.
He back, yes. Woo. Okay.
But then when I'm with, so he smells like weed, and that's a turn off.
Okay, wait, you going too far. So he's short.
Kevin Hart short, Runita.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So if he was less,
I'm not attracted to somebody shorter than me. Okay. I'm short. I like to wear heels, right? And I told the Lord, I'm just gonna lie.
Yomi, we not arguing. We're not gonna do that. Okay. We're not gonna be up here arguing. We're not doing that. All right. So let's reel this back in.
Oh my God.
Okay. So this is what we asking. So let's ask her one at a time so she don't feel like she being attacked.
Yeah, because the man sound like he debating.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So we don't want her to feel like she's being attacked. So if you got a question, ask her that. My first question is, if he was the same exact person he was, but taller, would you be attracted to him?
Probably.
Okay. Anybody else got a question?
Not really.
Okay. And listen, I appreciate your honesty. That's big of you to be honest.
Understood. My question is, he can't control. Well, it's not really a question. He can't control his height.
Right.
As far as his dress is concerned, you could teach him how to dress. I know a lot of women that they men don't know how to dress, but they dress him.
No, don't get me wrong, I got you on that part, but she just asked physically. That's the physical part, but there's other stuff too that throws me completely off from him. Besides him, he's a nice guy, and I'm gonna give an example because I know she didn't ask, but we went out to eat. Now, it's a thing called table etiquette, and if you don't feel the little thing coming down your mouth like this, and I gotta keep telling you, there's something, wipe your mouth over and over again. There's something. It might be. I might be picky.
Come on, man.
I might be picky. But I'm at the table looking at this dude like,
Renita.
Listen, let me just say this. He's my best friend. And y'all, what y'all not gonna do?
Hey,
no,
Renita.
okay. Listen,
that's not a part of a type, though, yo.
Renita.
I want to say this.
No, seriously, that's a turn on. I'm like, if you can't.
Yeah, that would be,
You eat and then you smacking. I cannot stand somebody that smack when you eat. I'm like, oh.
Garland say, well, Jamie put her hand over her head. She done. You know, she always done with us.
I know.
But Garland say he just not the one for you.
And you're right, he's not.
But
I agree with you.
Here's what I got one question about that. So we know if he was taller, you may be physically attracted to him. But table etiquette, everybody wasn't brought up the same. I'm only learning that because when I tell you that Chris and I are the polar opposites. Did you hear the in the polar opposites? But there's things that I do that he doesn't like, and he, express that. And there's things that he does that I don't like, and everybody's not raised the same. So everybody didn't have a mom to teach them to wipe their mouth. Everybody didn't have that. I'm just being honest.
I mean, you're right. Nobody, but we went on 2 dates,
What
and at
was
the
the question?
second day, I'm like, dog, come on now, come on, dog. Like, I can't. And like,
What's the
you
question?
just,
Can we okay.
I
All
was
right.
like, I cannot.
All right. Okay.
I cannot do it anymore, and that's just me. But there's other things about him, like if you tell me that you don't like something about me, and I really am feeling you, I'm gonna do my darndest to not change, but to take what you say into consideration. That's just me. But if I tell you, can you stop smacking? Wipe your mouth, or every time I talk to you, do you have to smell like weed? Like, I'm not knocking you if that's what you smoke it. But I don't want to smell you every time we go in public and people thinking it's me too.
You got one of them young Thundercats, huh?
Yeah, he just not,
no, actually, he's 46 years old.
He's just not the one. I told you, get worms.
Lord.
Get worms? I know, right? I need to go get me some worms.
You're going in the wrong direction. Get you some worms.
I might have to do that, girl.
It's tough for a man out here these days, bro. It's tough.
Right.
Listen, man, because I'm single and I'm short and I'm just listening to all that. I'm tickled.
Do you drool? We just need to know, do you drool?
Hey, Ron.
Do you smack? And then you got stuff coming out your mouth.
Hey, Ron.
I smell like Bear.
Hey, Ron.
So,
I'm 5'7". I'm 5'7". When them girls be like, you too short, I be like, my bank account a little long though.
Man, I don't even say that. I keep it pushing. Hey,
I be trying.
Listen, if I ain't your cup of coffee, go and get you some tea. Hey,
I can't control how tall.
What I tell you the other day, Runita.
Hey,
Micheline.
But it's just me. I mean, it's me. I'm not saying this is y'all's perspective, but this is me. No. I was like, God, this is what I like. I know I'm not perfect, but if the person I'm not doing what he desires or something, then we don't need to talk no more. I don't want to be with somebody that's not, and I can't be with somebody that I'm not.
I got you. Check this out. Hey, Ron.
Talk to me.
There's a shortage of men. Let's just keep it
period.
Okay, if you're not down low, transgender, overly gay, incarcerated, or married, women act like they just got a plethora of men to choose from. And you don't. And you don't. And you don't. And you don't.
So does that mean they should settle for something they don't?
No. No, Runita, they should not settle. But at the same time, like you said, some things can be taught. Some things these ears stick out. I didn't control this. You understand? Some things you can teach, some things you cannot. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said Kevin Hart was short.
Well, Kevin can I give you this one? You ain't gonna get rid of a Cadillac because it got a dent in it.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
You ain't gonna get rid of a Cadillac because it got a dent in it. That's my whole perspective.
But listen, I'm just starting to date
I'm just talking about for me. We got your point.
I am not physically attracted. I'm not gonna pretend like because at the end of the day, you're gonna want to cuddle, and I'm like, no.
Right.
Hey,
right. I got you, baby.
I didn't mean
Hey, Ron, I'm gonna fix the dent, brother.
Okay. That's all I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna fix the dent.
I'm gonna get the dent pulled out and keep it pushing.
Hey, Ron,
if the engine good, we ride.
Hey, Ron, if she come overweight, we going to the gym.
Listen, let me hold on. Can I set y'all free? Don't nobody want a bone but a dog. So y'all better stop all that. Like Runita, the guys making us wear these, and you got to have this. Y'all talking to the wrong one. Because if you feel you can't do nothing, no man.
Hey, Ron, okay. Buck getting the nails done while we on the tummy tuck. If the tummy tuck gonna make her feel good,
we have truly gone unfiltered.
Okay.
So those of you that are at Bible study, sign off now. Good night. The rest of you, come on in the room.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, Ron,
you know what I'm saying? I'm older now. I look at different stuff. If you got your nails done, if you the whole let me tell you something. Jesus Christ. If we can't talk about nothing, then we can't do nothing. Because we there together, we fall asleep, we wake up, you looking at me, I'm looking at you. Somebody got to go home.
Conversation
Somebody
was
got to go home.
horrible.
Hey, Ron.
Conversation was horrible. I was
Hey,
like,
Ron.
oh my God.
Well, you don't need to talk to him no more.
Hold on. Now, y'all know my mother, right? Y'all know Joanne. Joanne
Can I tell you what Joanne told me at 16?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Joanne said you got to try everything twice. Because the first time may be a fluke. The second time will let you know. So that first time was a fluke. The second time I tried it, I ain't in it.
Hey, Ron. If she ain't got no hair, they make lace fronts. We gonna get it. Ron.
If she ain't got no hair, I'm massaging that scalp. Give me that grease.
Ron, what's she talking about?
You remember that junk that you used to do? Let me put that grease in the middle of that junk. Huh?
Ron.
Baby, go ahead.
Hey, Ron, if she got bad teeth in her mouth, we can go get that fixed, bro.
Boy, I got Delta Dental on standby.
Hey, Ron, I got braces on right now, brother.
Bruh, what's the problem? That's why I say we get fixated on our wants. We get fixated on our wants. She got to be this.
Let me ask you this.
Talk to me.
Let me ask you this, because
yes,
I say this often, and correct me if I'm wrong.
You see me in the camera, right?
It is better to be wanted than to be needed.
Yes.
I say both.
Let me say
this. Let me explain to you why I say this.
Okay.
Needed means I am forced. Wanted means I am choosing.
I told my 15-year-old daughter this.
You need both.
Get somebody that's dumb stupid over you. You don't go out there, hey baby, don't go out there to get the one just because everybody else wants them. Get somebody that wants you. Because when you are wanted, let me tell you something.
But you gotta want them too. You can't. If I don't want you and you want me, it ain't gonna work.
If you come home to somebody
he keeps saying
that you are wanted,
need.
Say again?
I said you keep saying need.
No, I said if you come home to somebody that wants you, you understand what I'm saying? That is a euphoria. You understand what I'm saying? When you walk in that door and they just like, they whole body aura change. Like, you home. You know, like, I'm going to give you about 30 minutes to go ahead and download, take your shower, whatever you want to do. But after that, you know, that whole being wanted is something special. Being needed is back to what my man Craig said. Let me get them bills. Let me take care of this. But that being wanted, listen, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that tonight. I need you to come home. I got your boxers and your white beaters in the back. Take a shower. Put on some of that stuff that I like, that you know I like, and come sit on this couch and let's just chill out. You understand what I'm saying? That's being wanted.
Let me
talk
fix
to
this
me.
beard for you. Hey Michelle, let me fix this bill for you. Let me come at you right quick. I'm gonna take the godly head off and put the player head on. Let me come at you real quick.
Come on,
player.
You like this beard? You like this beard?
Yeah. The beard
you
nice.
Think I'm good looking? You find me attractive?
You a nice looking dude.
Let me change
I
my
appreciate
background.
that. Thank you. Now check it. You said something earlier about you said if you could do it for yourself, you wouldn't need nobody. So you need
Come on, bring it
right?
back.
I can't hear you very well.
I know you want a man, but you need companionship, right? Okay,
right.
So I want you to want companionship, but you also need the companionship. So let me break it down for you, honey. So let me come pick you up. Let's take a long walk. Let's talk. That's companionship. That's intimacy, what we've been talking about. At the same time, let me massage your head as you smoke this over when we're talking, when we're walking over the beach, and we're walking down the beach, and we're having a pretty good conversation with substance, right? At the end of the day, when I leave you, not only are you going to want me to come back, you need me to come back. So I'm about balance. About balance. You're going to need both. You're going to need both because you're going to want me also, But when I walk out of your presence, you could be like, I need that man. Because just like you said, if you could do it yourself, you wouldn't need me. Because you could want something to eat today at McDonald's, but you could want Olive Garden tomorrow. But if I carry value in this handsome face with this nice beard, you can't replace that. And you need that. The same way I need
Unless
you.
you short.
Unless I'm short, Ron.
Say what? Say what, Ron?
Micheline don't care about you being short.
I'm just saying.
I'm
Because
being
it's a
facetious.
blessing
Don't
like
pay
that,
me no mind.
yo.
Y'all see
Yeah,
how to the
What did
hood
he
you
say?
wear.
I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my height. No, I'm just.
That's right.
Okay, y'all got to
Because
hold
it's
on.
a
I got to
blessing.
go. I got to go.
You can
What
go.
you say?
I gotta go potty.
Go ahead.
Wait a minute. I didn't hear you, Craig.
I'm just saying, my whole point
They were
is
talking.
it's about balance. You need both. You need to be able
Right.
to
Oh,
want.
Yeah.
guess
And you
what?
want
When
that
you
person to need you as
explain
well.
it that way, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
Amen.
I'm here to learn.
Just like Runita husband. Runita, he wants him to need her, but he wants him to want her too. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Both.
You're right.
Both.
You're right.
It's just something about when she come off this podcast, he just like, baby, come here. You need your woman and you want your woman. You gotta have both. You can't replace
Gotta have
value.
both.
You can't replace value.
My needs have changed. I think I'm with Ron. My needs have really changed as I matured. There's a lot of things that I used to desire in a partner that really aren't that important to me anymore. Because as I've grown older, I realized I would much rather be with a partner than with a mate. Somebody that I can go
That's
hand in
heavy.
hand
That's
with
heavy.
everything. We're hand in hand. If on this he's 70% in because he does it better than me, then my 30% I'm going just as hard as him, and vice versa. Not talking about finances, just that he might desire or things he may need, or he feeling low today and he need encouragement. Listen, I it's just a whole different mindset. But I think it's unfortunate that and when I say God's timing is perfect, but I've wasted so much time abusing God's grace. I'm grateful.
Let's be transparent. All right.
Yeah, I'm grateful that He's given me that opportunity to grow into this person. Oh, she back. To grow into this person, but I was, I wasted a lot of time looking for things that don't matter, expecting from somebody, and that's one of the things I wanted to get with in ideals. A lot of times we expect something from somebody that we're unable to give. We're expecting them to be this whole person, but we come in half a person. We come in broken. We want them to meet our needs, but we're not willing to meet their needs and grow with them. So, yeah,
I think a lot of women come into relationships not wanting to be or not having the ability to be a part of a team. They want the man to bring in 100% of everything outside of them, their physical. When in fact that if you're in a partnership, if you're in a team, if today, my best is 10% and yours is 90%, then at the end of the day, the team has 100%. If tomorrow your best is 5% and mine is 95%, again, at the end of the day, the team has 100%. And it's all about that team. If we are partnered, if we are one, if we are, together.
Well, to get to that partner that you're saying, this is the part why I love being a man. This is the part that I'm about to say that I love being a man. Because when you get with her in the beginning, she's not going to come willingly. You have to turn her back into a woman.
What you mean?
She's independent for so long.
Meaning
she got those masculine traits.
You got to put that
turn
guard
her
down.
back into a woman. Once you do that, now the partnership can go. After I done put her up against a wall and say, look, you're going to cut this stuff out, and I'm going to drain all that masculine energy out you. Come on, Runita, stop looking at me like that. and drink all that
Put up against the wall.
ahead.
out of you.
Reverend
You can turn her
Runita,
back into a woman.
come back, Lashiba. Come on back.
Go ahead.
We talking about drink. We talking about energy. We talking about energy.
Thanks, Marlon. I appreciate that, man. Lord Jesus, her whole
Good
face
God
turned
from
up.
Zion. It's about that time of night. God love you, God love me. I'm about to sign off.
Oh Lord, but that's what I mean.
I'm with you, Doc. I'm with you,
You
Chris.
gotta turn her
I
back
got
into
you,
a
bro.
woman, bro.
Yes.
They
That
so
whole
independent
safe
and they've been doing things on their own for so long. Yeah, you gotta turn them back. You gotta turn them back into women.
Listen, this has been a really good conversation. We couldn't really get into ideals too much. Michelle had to sign off. Her phone died. We've been up here almost 2 hours. So I'm going to let y'all say your final words. I'm going to show this video so it can be in the replay. And we're going to get out of here and get some sleep. And wake up prayerfully tomorrow and do what God wants us to do. So what final words do you guys have? I guess we're not the Hoodly Weight games right now. I thought I was about to see a date happen. I was like, let me change the background.
I was just trying to prove a point. That's all. I'm just trying to, you gotta
get
have
caught
balance.
up in a crossfire now.
You gotta have balance. You gotta have balance. That's all.
So
you gotta have balance.
those of you that are single, Craig, are you single?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just asking. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay, then. All right, go ahead. Yo.
The last word I would say is through the whole conversation, it needs to have balance. You need to have balance. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some type of balance where you and a woman can be on the same page, not trying to compete, not trying to keep score. You're both there to serve. Once I think you both get away from serving, I think that's when you ask your enemy to come in and take over the relationship because you're through serving. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the only point I want to make.
All right. What you got, Ron?
What I want to say is just be upfront, truthful in the beginning. No, as they say now, representatives. Just be honest, man. We grown adults now. Nobody's gonna give you a spanking. Nobody's gonna take the keys away. Nobody's gonna put you on punishment. So just be open and honest in the beginning, and it'll save you a lot of headache at the end.
My God. All right, Micheline. What say you?
I think I've said it all. I don't have a whole lot to say. I think that being true and real to yourself and as Craig said, balance, but not only balance in the relationship, balance in life is going to make you be able to be your best self in all situations.
Okay. And my girl, yo.
Well, everybody said that you have to be true to yourself and be honest with yourself. And you have to be if you can be honest with God about everything, then you'll be good to go in your relationship, whether it's friendship, dating or anything. Will work itself out with God first. So just always be honest. That's all I can say about everything.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Listen, Ron and Craig. Well, Ron, you already know because you are facilitating the Forgive Her conference. Oh yeah, I didn't tell you. I didn't already. I met with myself and I decided.
Okay, Roger that. We talk offline.
Right.
Okay.
The Forgive Him conference is June 24th through the 25th. Would love for you all to come out and be a part of this. Have some dynamic speakers. Just so much coming up. So and we'll be sharing more about that very.
Where's that?
I'm looking for a place because we've already pretty much outgrown the place I had in mind. But I'm looking for a venue. So if you know of any venues.
A venue of what size? When you say outgrown, give me a number.
Initially I was thinking like 50 people. but we are already without even selling a ticket over 50 people. So I'm thinking like a place where you can have 100 comfortable and not be, you got their breath and they got your breath.
Roger that.
So with
You got a
love.
budget already? We'll talk offline then about
Okay.
budget and everything.
All right. I am going to play this video. Those of you that need to drop off and the ones that want to talk afterwards, we can talk real quick if you would like to. Oh, April 3rd, April 10th is Second Chance Sunday. We have 2 former inmates that will be speaking, telling their story. I'm looking to get one more person. It's going to be a virtual service as well as a live service that we'll be having at First Baptist Church West Munden at 2 p.m. And April, we know, is the month where we celebrate the redemption and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and where he took all the power away from Satan. So we want to talk about how he is a redeemer, a kinsman redeemer, and how even if you've been locked away, even if you are locked away, the Lord still loves you. You are not your mistake. You are not your charges. God is able to redeem you. So we will have a Second Chance Sunday on April 10th, 2022 at 2 p.m. Would love to have you all there, whether it's virtual or in person. All right. Bring your husbands, your boyfriends, your boo-janks, your uncles, your cousins, all of them. We want them all there. We want them to take the limits off. They are made in the image of God and they have no limits. So thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you all for joining me. I will probably be back in contact with you sometime really, really soon. But I'm going to give you a break for a little bit. But thank you all so much for joining me on tonight. Catch
Love
me.
you.
All right. Be blessed. Be
Y'all.
blessed.
All right.